Hey guys, it's Monica, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my best tips for traveling with kids and toddlers. I post new videos twice a week on parenting, healthy living, and life with little ones, and if you're new, I would love for you to consider subscribing. With our family being halfway across the country, we've done a lot of traveling with our kids. Both of our kids had passports by the time they were a year old, and we've logged over 30 flights with kids by this point. Right now, I'm actually packing for our next trip, so I thought I would share with you my tips on traveling with kids. So my first tip is to plan ahead and make a list. And make sure to stock up on the kids-specific things that you'll need for the climate of your destination. So for instance, where we live doesn't really get that cold, and we're traveling to some place that does get cold. So I always make sure to check the items that we're not using regularly in this climate still fit the kids or the climate that we're going to. So this way we're not scrambling last minute to find new things when you're packing and realize that coat from last year no longer fits. So always plan ahead a couple weeks in advance and make sure that you have those things. So if you do need to get a new coat, it's already there in time before you have to travel. And in general, don't forget to pack the things for that climate. So for instance, with us going to the cold, you got to think about the boots, the hats, the scarves, the gloves, the coats, all of these things that we don't normally use. Make a list, make sure you've got all those things set and ready to go. Remembering the little things I think is really helpful. And that's why you make a list, so you don't have to commit it to memory. You just check it off as you go. I like to plan for the days and get 2 outfits per kid per day, because inevitably one of my kids is going to get something on that outfit, and it's always good to have a backup. Even if you're gonna have a washer and dryer, at least for that first week, to have 2 outfits per day if you can. I pack a pair of jammies for the kids for each night, and then a couple of extras in case there's any spills or mishaps or accidents. So my next tip is to pack smart, and this is one that I had to work on for many years to get it right. I used to take tons and tons of bags. Over the years I've learned some really effective packing mechanisms to really limit those bags, because when you've got your kids and 100 bags and car seats and all this stuff, it gets a little bit overwhelming. Check out my packing hack video for a detailed explanation of how I'm able to get our family of 4 packed in 1 large suitcase and 1 small suitcase for a week or more without going over the weight limits. If you're traveling by plane, something that can make or break your trip is going to be your carry-on and how prepared you are for that flight. It's so important to make sure you have everything that you could possibly need in that carry-on. When you're traveling with kids, make sure you get all the essentials for the travel day. One recommendation I have is to pack a ton of new things that they've not seen or they haven't seen in a really long time, so it's fresh for them and they're really engaged and interested in those things. This is especially crucial for the 1 to 3 age range, where they aren't babies anymore, so they're not going to sleep the whole flight, and they're not wanting to just sit still, or they're probably not going to watch a movie at this point. And so this is just so helpful for that period where they just want to get up and run around, and you're like, how am I going to manage this? For this, I like to think way outside of the box and just think about things that your kids just randomly like to play with that they don't normally get. Food and snacks. Now when all else fails, it's great to have some good healthy snacks as a backup that can always generally tame any sort of anxiousness and not wanting to be in the plane anymore. Usually food can buy you a little bit of time. Fruits, baby pouches, seaweed packs, all of these things are great options, as they are typically not too messy and easy to pack. And try to avoid things that are easily chokeable, like popcorn and nuts. Also pack empty water cups with lids and straws that you can fill on the plane. This will help prevent spills from the open cups that they give you on the airplane, and also help with any ear pain if your kids are sensitive to the pressure changes in takeoff and landing. If your child is old enough, consider getting some gum. For our 4-year-old, we let him chew gum on takeoff and landing. It's not something that he has all the time, but for the plane, he looks forward to it. His ears are pretty sensitive, and so I think it helps him kind of get through it, because he's got this new special thing that he gets to do and have gum. I think it's either spree or spray, but it's a natural gum that doesn't have any added sugars. And most gums are sweetened with aspartame, but this one is actually sweetened with xylitol. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but this one is actually good for your teeth and avoids a lot of the negative effects of the aspartame. Extra clothes. So I always like to pack extra clothes for each kid on the plane, and I usually bring 2 extra outfits per kid. If you still have burp cloths, like Like these are great for the plane because they can clean up any spills really easily. Also swaddlers, if you sell swaddlers, they roll up really easily and make a nice comfortable blanket for the plane. Just kind of helps them to settle into their spot if you can get them really cozy and comfy. I bring a pair of socks for each kid and myself because you know the plane can get a little bit cold at the bottom. Just trying to set up their space so they're really comfortable and cozy is really helpful, especially if you want them to fall asleep and just in general feel comfortable in their spot. If your kids are still in diapers, pack extra, more than you think you'll need, just in case the plane is delayed or you're stuck. You definitely don't want to be out of diapers unless you're doing AC, and then you'll be okay. But if you are using diapers, then you'll want to bring some extra. Even if you think that you'll have enough at the plane, throw in a few more just in case to account for any sort of delays. And bring wipes for diaper changes as well as any sticky messes that you want to clean up along the way. I usually like to bring a few plastic bags for soiled clothes, trash, pacifiers, or teething toys to help keep everything contained. It's really convenient to have some disposable bags for those purposes. So if you have a baby or a young toddler that you want to sleep, we have found it to be really helpful to bring a full-size pillow, and when you're taking that through the airport, you can stuff that pillowcase with a lot of things. You can put blankets in there or your own neck pillow, and this way when you get on the plane you can lay it across your lap, and or if you're traveling with your partner, you and your partner can lay it across both of your laps, and then the kid can just lay down on you and fall asleep and kind of have a bed, and they sleep a little bit more comfortably and longer this way, and we've found that this has been really helpful. The next thing would be to remember about all those plane germs and all those reports that you've heard. I couldn't forget them. So I make sure to bring hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes, and I make my own sanitizing wipes, and you can check out my DIY cleaning video and find out exactly how to make these super easy wipes. Whenever I get in the plane, I just quickly do a wipe down of all the surfaces, just get my whole area clean so I don't have to worry about what the kids are touching, and I'm not as concerned, and I just can let them be more than just be like, oh, don't touch that or don't do that. It's really nice if it's just your area's been cleaned up really quick and you've got a natural cleaner and it's really easy and cheap. Highly recommend bringing something like that. If you have an iPad or cell phone that you're using, make sure to pack it and the chargers that go along with it. And I always make sure that they're fully charged the night before, and I download any movies or TV shows as you aren't going to be able to stream on the plane. So I always like to get a few different shows or a movie ahead of time, make sure that that's ready to go, so that when we're on the plane after we get through the toys, or if the kids want to watch something, if your kids are old enough to watch something, or if they do, then you have that available and you know that it's charged, you've got everything downloaded and ready to go. And if on the off chance that you get a free minute to yourself, say the kids are sleeping or they're otherwise occupied, make sure to download a book or a movie or TV show for yourself as well. And don't forget to pack headphones for everyone. I'll link the kid pair that we use in the description, because the ones that you stick in your ears, which is the ones that most of us have now, they don't really work for kids, but they've got some really cheap, great kid headphones so that the kids can watch something or listen to something if they want to too. If you plan to share a screen and watch a movie with someone else, you can get these splitters. And this just plugs into your device, and that has two connections for your headphones, so two people can listen to the same show on the same device and not have to share headphones. So this thing is awesome. If you're traveling with a baby or a nursing toddler and you prefer to cover up, then don't forget a cover. I always love just to bring like a really baggy hoodie or sweatshirt that it's like a pullover, and then I could just put that on over my baby or my toddler, and then they can just nurse inside of the jacket. If it's lightweight, then they don't get overheated, and it's just really easy. You don't have to worry about the cover or anything. You can just kind of pull it out and let them kind of go up under your shirt if you have another shirt underneath. Nursing is like such a godsend when you are in the plane. It can alleviate ear pain, help them, just comfort them to sleep, and generally it just makes your life so much easier if you're nursing. If you're planning to bring your car seat, which a lot of times we end up having to do, it's really convenient to get these car seat bags. I really like these because they have a little backpack on them, so you can just throw these, well, your husband or you can just throw these on your back, and it makes it a lot easier to carry around to the airport, especially if you have these huge car seats. You can put them in here and you can either date check them or check them at the front, but I think when they're in these bags, I know that some people say not to check a car seat, but you know, if you need to check a car seat, it's better to have it kind of in a bag like this where, you know, you can see what it is. They're supposed to, you know, pay close attention to car seats and be more careful with them, but it's got like a little tiny bit of padding and it just gives it a cover. And just basically for like the carrying aspect, these are so convenient and so nice. And for the destination, bring a favorite toy or stuffed animal or just something that the kids like that is familiar to them, that they're playing with often, so that they have some sense of home and some sense of normalcy, and this will kind of help them adapt to their new environment a little bit easier. If they have a special something that they sleep with, don't forget that special something. That's something that you can't really replace and could really make it a lot easier for them to transition to their new environment. It's also a good idea to bring socket covers for the hotel room or the guest room that you're staying in to help baby-proof the environment. So in general, I would just say to try to stay relaxed and stay positive, because you're going to be the one that sets the mood for the travel day. And I think just being as prepared as possible and mentally preparing for things to not go perfectly is really going to go a long way to help your mental state. At least it does for me. Give yourself plenty of time for traveling with kids to account for bathroom breaks, meltdowns, food emergencies, or whatever might come up. Just give yourself a little extra time. It's a lot different traveling with your kids than it is by yourself. A lot different. If things kind of go awry, at least you're mentally prepared and you're ready for it. You've got all the things that you need. And if things go smoothly, then you're pleasantly surprised. So in general, just hope for the best and plan for anything. So I hope you guys like this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody you think might also enjoy it or might need it, and it helps traveling with your little ones go a little bit smoother. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.